Howdy everyone, I am back from Ecuador and I will be putting together a video about that. I've got some video footage, I've got some pictures. It's going to take me a little bit of time to do that though, so in the meantime I wanted to make this fairly quick video so that I put up some content and don't wait too long without putting up content. And today's video is going to be about transgenderism. Now, for those of you who have heard of Jordan Peterson, and I assume a lot of people have, he was recently suspended on Twitter, the social media platform Twitter, for this tweet. As you can see, he basically he committed one of the cardinal sins, and he offended the transgender community, and has been suspended from Twitter. As far as I know, he was told he has to take the tweet down. He said he wouldn't take the tweet down. I think Twitter may have just taken it down forcefully themselves anyway, from what I was reading. I mean, I don't really watch that much of Jordan Peterson. I've seen some of his videos. I don't have an issue with him. Some people seem to not like him. I mean, people on the left generally don't like him at all anyway. But even some people who are quite conservative for some reason have some issues with him. I don't see it as a problem. I think if you're a Catholic, you don't really need Jordan Peterson. I think he's good for people who are maybe they kind of contemplating God and they're trying to find a way back into, they've had some problems in their life, and he's a good kind of path to God, I think. And to be honest, even though he himself hasn't really pinned himself down as being a Christian, he does say, I live as though God exists. That basically means I believe God exists. A lot of people who have watched his videos, I've seen comments and I've even heard people say they've become Christian or they have returned to Christianity. So in that respect, I think Jordan Peterson's very positive, because let's face it, it's possible that Jordan Peterson has brought more people to Christianity than a lot of cardinals and bishops, sadly, in the Catholic Church. But I digress. So Jordan Peterson was suspended from Twitter for this tweet. Now, transgenderism, it's just another thing that's come from this whole movement that started a couple of decades ago. It was the kind of, this LGBT umbrella. It began with, we just want this one little thing, and now we can see how far it's progressed. We've got transgenderism, we've got gender neutrality, 50 genders or so, 50 sexualities, drag queen shows, drag queens dancing in front of children, the whole shebang. You give the devil an inch, he takes a mile. Once he puts his dirty little hoof inside the door, he's not going to take it out. And now, good luck trying to reverse this whole thing. Take the USA, for example, when they made the decision, the Supreme Court made the decision to not make abortion a national right, and they sent it back to the states. You could saw the kicking and the crying and the anger and some of the crazy reactions online from people. It was almost like an exorcism. Back to transgenderism though, because I keep digressing. So it's already bad, let's be honest. It's already bad. When you're having to even use terms like trans man and trans woman, it's a problem. To us Catholics, there's no such thing as a trans man or a trans woman. There is such a thing as gender dysphoria. There are people who seem to think that they were born in the wrong body, that they're the wrong sex, and I think those people need help, professional help, and I don't mean that in a disparaging way. I genuinely feel for them, and I really do think that they need people to help them through these difficult thoughts and feelings they're having. Funnily enough, as bad as it is now, I have a prediction for the future that I'm going to make, and I don't think it's going to happen in the very distant future. I think it will happen fairly soon. By soon, I mean maybe in the next few years. I would really expect this to happen, and it's going to be quite frightening. Right now, if you refer to someone who is a trans man, just for the sake of language, I'm going to use these terms to make it easier to understand. If you refer to someone who is a trans man as a woman, or someone who's a trans woman as a man, that's like a cardinal crime in the secular world. It's a great sin in the secular world. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to refer to the actual gender that they were born with, because that's offensive. What I think is going to happen is that in the near future, you will no longer be able to refer to a trans man as a trans man and a trans woman as a trans woman. Now you might be thinking, well, that's great. That means they're going to get rid of these stupid terms. No, it's going to be considered offensive to call someone a trans man because they don't want to be reminded that they're a trans man and that they were actually a woman. And you'll only be allowed to refer to them as a man. And the same thing for trans women. You won't be able to say you're a trans woman, i.e. you used to be a man. You'll have to just refer to that person as a woman. And then we're going to have a society where no one will know if the man they're talking to was actually a woman, if the woman they're talking to supposedly was a man. A guy's going to go on a date with a girl, not realizing this person was born a man. A woman will go on a date with a man, not realizing this person was born a woman. And that's going to be frightening. I think those times are going to be even more frightening than what we have now. So that's my prediction to you folks. If it comes true, remember this video. I'm not saying it's going to happen now or this year, but I think it's going to happen very soon. Watch this space.